What's going on, guys? Bankrupt Games here with more Armored Core 6, and last episode when we left off we had an awesome boss battle at the end of the mission aboard the Xylem spaceship, and we also had Rusty with us helping us on that mission, so I recommend going back and watching that if you haven't seen it. But at the end of the mission as well, Rusty was talking to us and his dialogue got cut off abruptly, so not quite sure what happened to him, but I'm assuming we're going to find out this episode. But something I didn't notice at the end of last episode is that you can actually see that this concludes the chapter, and I'm pretty sure chapter 5 is the last chapter of the game, so this will actually be the last episode for this playthrough. But I am planning on doing multiple playthroughs to achieve the other two endings, just so I can have that all on the channel for you guys and show off everything the game has to offer. And seeing as I've really enjoyed my time with the game, I may as well make videos on the rest of it for you as well. But the next mission we're going to be doing will be bring down the Xylem, and like I said, it does conclude the chapter. Quite a big payout for this mission as well, but I assume it's going to be very difficult, and there'll probably be another end of mission boss that we have to go up against, similar to previous Armored Core games. But yeah, really looking forward to it and finding out what it has in store for us, really.
The Xylem is beginning its descent. Now, we just need to destroy the ramjet engines. Let's put an end to this, Raven. We're going home. To Rubicon. The world you saved.
So it seems like we've managed to save the planet by making sure the Xylem ship doesn't crash into the coral and blow it all up. But still waiting to see if that was actually the right choice and see if anything happens with the coral or if it spreads out and destroys other planets or something like that. But like I said, I assume we'll find out at the end of this mission. But in regards to our mech, we're using a mech that we've seen before. I think it was at the start of chapter 3. And yeah, some of the weapons, well, mainly the pistol, got a bit of a buff and has a lot more ammo now. So hopefully the ammo shouldn't be an issue. But even if it still is an issue, we've got our trusty Moonlight Blade, so we can still attack enemies at range, and with the charge attack as well, we can take out multiple light targets. And then obviously we still got our missiles on the back and stun needle launcher, just because it is so good for the direct hit damage when a target's stunned. But yeah, that's we might have to change our setup depending on what the boss is like at the end of the mission. But yeah, hopefully we should be able to take this mission down.
We'll also need to prepare for re-entry. Be ready to escape once we're finished.
I don't know if gravity is going to work any differently, considering we are almost sort of in space. So that would be quite interesting.
Main system activating combat mode.
Raven, that's one of the ramjet engines. Please, destroy the target.
Just got to take a moment to appreciate how good this looks. Like, yeah, I think FromSoftware are probably some of the best people at art direction in the business. But let's take this mission on.
Starboard chamber is silent.
Awesome soundtrack there in the background as well. Quite foreboding.
The Xylem is falling from orbit. The coral's safe. Rubicon's safe.
Was wondering what happened to Walter.
Walter, but that AC. Picking up a coral response. Watch out!
Operations. Orders. My friend's mission. Eliminate obstacles.
Whatever they did, you're in danger. We have to defend
Nah, it's hard.
Voice. 621. I see it next to you. Yes. Kindling for the fire.
Raven, we're re-entering Rubicon's atmosphere. There's no time.
Greatest
Ouch.
obstacle. Eliminated.
We actually did quite well there, I think, for first attempt. Took about a third of his health down. Obviously he has assault armour. It's cool how it shines red. I'm guessing he's using a lot of coral weapons. So yeah, I think we did pretty good first attempt, but I assume there is going to be a second phase, seeing as this is the end of the game. So try a couple more attempts, I think, with this AC. And yeah, if it doesn't work out, I might switch over to another one of our builds. I think shotguns might work quite well, because he does tend to stay still when he attacks, at least in this first phase, if there is a second phase. So that might be a good chance to use some shotguns and get some good damage in when he's still. But I think for the time being, we'll just carry on with this AC and see how we do. Almost sounds like he's forced to fight us though.
Orders. No. My friend's mission. Eliminate all obstacles.
Whatever they did, you're in danger. We have to defend ourselves.
Voice. 621. I see it next to you. Yes. Kindling for the fire.
Raven, we're re-entering Rubicon's atmosphere. There's no time. Hurry!
When something's alive, it doesn't die easy. You have to burn every last cinder. Burn the coral, and our job will be over.
Thought we almost dodged him then.
Credits. Undo the surgery. Be normal again.
Raven! Walter! This has to stop!
1 HP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Managed to sort of skip his beam attack there.
AP at 50%.
We don't have any mega hits.
At 30%.
Still managed to get it off there.
621.
Did a bit better that time, but he does have some med kits.
This job.
I think it's definitely a game of attrition, this fight. But yeah, it sounds like Walter's had a really tough time with things. I'm missing some of the dialogue because obviously I'm focusing on the fight. But it seems like part of him still wants what's best for us. But part of him's just, you know, from whatever's been done to him, is sort of forced to destroy us. And the fact that our goals haven't aligned with his. So, you know, we sort of betrayed him in a lot of ways. But yeah, really cool fight. Loving it. Loving the soundtrack as well.
Orders. My friend's mission. Eliminate all obstacles.
Whatever they did, you're in danger.
Not doing too great this time.
We have to defend ourselves.
AP at 50%.
Voice. 621. I see it next to you. Yes. Kindling for the fire.
Raven, we're re-entering Rubicon's atmosphere. There's no time. Hurry!
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
When something's alive, it doesn't die easy. You have to burn every last cinder.
AP at 30%.
Burn the coral, and our job will be over. You earned 621. That's it for this job.
Didn't do quite as well that time. Yeah, his missiles, those red missiles that you just saw streak past us, seem to do a lot of damage. And his attacks do a lot of stagger damage as well. And yeah, dodging them is using a lot of our energy. But I think I'm going to do a couple more attempts with this. And obviously I'll do it, I'll put it in the episode. If not, I'll switch over to another build that we're going to be using. If I change build out. Like I said, I think shotgun's probably a good choice. But yeah, I guess I'll see you when I do it. And yeah, hopefully it's a nice sort of smooth boss fight. Like I said, I think he probably has a second phase, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when we do finally get his health down. Either that, or he is just a tanky, high damaging enemy. And yeah, it seems like his pulse armor sort of comes up like periodically, so you've got to sort of time your attacks around that quite a lot. And yeah, some of our attacks are missing as well, so I might see about changing our FCS to something that has a little bit better tracking, or maybe try targeting him manually, because of the way he moves is fairly predictable for the majority of it. But it's good to know that you can kick him out of that beam attack, and you know, the sweeping sort of beam attack. And assault armor looks like it did pretty good against him, but obviously we've got to watch out for his assault armor as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the other side when I finally take this guy down.
Corporations. Orders. My friend's mission. Eliminate all obstacles.
Whatever they did, you're in danger. We have to defend ourselves.
Voice. 621. I see it next to you. Yes. Kindling for the fire.
We're re-entering Rubicon's atmosphere. There's no time.
I was almost expecting a second phase. Saying that, you never know.
The mission. My friend's wishes. Look at you, 621. You found a friend.
Walter! We have to go, Raven. Raven. One day, humanity and Coral will thrive together. You kept our potential safe. I know Walter feared a collapse. But I promise you, there's another way. Raven. We'll find it together.
Cool, that's one ending down. Yeah, absolutely awesome. A little bit disappointed that Walter didn't have a second phase, but it was a very tough fight, even though we managed to defeat him quite quickly there. But it wasn't necessarily the smoothest fight. But yeah, really, really awesome. Liked that ending as well. It was quite hopeful in a lot of ways. And thinking about it and thinking about the themes of the sort of Armored Core games, the Coral doesn't seem any more sort of volatile and unpredictable than the people and even some of the AI units in previous games. So technically, they're just as dangerous as each other. So yeah, maybe there's a chance for things to work out a bit better. The Coral isn't necessarily bad, but you never know. We might have very much made the wrong choice. We'll have to see what the other endings have in store for us, and if they give us a little bit more information, whether or not this ending is one of the better choices. But yeah, really, really enjoyed that. The soundtrack for that boss fight is awesome. Absolutely, I think FromSoftware knocked it out of the park really with the game in general, but the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's been far too long since playing an Armored Core game. So I assume we're going to get some more parts.
Raven. You took on my hopes, my selfish dream. Now, I want to see the future that you choose. Whatever waits ahead, I'll support you.
So yeah, it definitely seems like Aya isn't a sort of evil character, but you never know. Like I said, it being an Armored Core game, she might have her own sort of motivations and sort of more evil plan in the long run. But yeah, something to point out actually is, even with Walter's total desire and devotion to the mission and what him and Sinakala wanted to do in destroying the Coral, there was still a part of him that had what's best for 621 in mind, because he mentioned in that fight about undoing the surgery and becoming normal again. So yeah, very interesting character. Obviously, we might see more of him in our next playthrough, where we go ahead with his plan. So we might get a little bit more information on him. I think Aya we might not get much more information on, just because she does seem like quite a clear-cut character. Like I said, unless she has a sort of dark purpose in mind. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed our first playthrough of the game. So we get a new head, new chest, new arms, and new legs, which all look like the parts that Walter was using, and they're made by the Rubicon Research Institute. So I'd have to see if there's anything different about them or anything that stands out.
Registration number RB23. Call sign Raven. Authentication complete. Removing MIA status. Restoring access privileges. This is Allmind, the mercenary support system. Raven, you've returned. Welcome back. Allmind anticipates great things from you.
Looks like you passed the authentication. That was quite the welcome home. Well, whatever. Raven, that's who you are now, here on Rubicon. I've picked up some work for you already. Take a look, 621.
So it does look like it just throws you straight into the New Game Plus, which is cool. And just after the tutorial mission where you get your license and destroy the helicopter right at the start of the game. So we don't need to do that again, but I assume that's because your parts are locked for that mission, so it means that it wouldn't really change up doing it again in New Game Plus. But yeah, really like that first ending, and yeah, it was just really cinematic, watching that ship crash as well in the cutscene. Let's see if we can find that new head. Looks really cool there. And it says it's related to the Ibis lines of parts, and we definitely know how tough they are. Actually seems like quite a good part all round. AP is a little bit less, and some of the defenses, well, the anti-kinetic defense isn't quite as good, but the other defenses are very high. Yeah, it's a really good all round part, all in all. Attitude stability is quite good on the core. All the defenses are very high. It's quite a heavy part though, but definitely not the worst for weight. Generator output adjustments very high on it as well. Again, the arm parts are very good. Not too heavy as well. Look at this chest again. The way it's got that wide back and the way the boosters are on it almost reminds me a little bit of White Glint's parts from Armored Core 4 Answer. I do find it funny as well they're called HAL 826. I wonder if that's anything, any sort of reference to 2001 Space Odyssey with the computer called HAL. But yeah, it doesn't seem like we've unlocked any new parts so far, so I assume it gives us those Walter's Armor Core parts, and then we'll unlock any more parts going through our next playthrough. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this episode up here. Not a good place to end the episode, and then next episode we'll kick it off with starting our next playthrough. I'll have to make sure to figure out which mission route we need to go down to head towards the other endings. But yeah, I've really enjoyed my time with the game so far. Would really highly recommend it. If you're a FromSoftware fan, if you like mechs, anything like that, this game will have something for you. And the gameplay is just really spot on. Definitely much nicer to play than a lot of the older Armored Core games. It's got a good balance between fast combat and being a bit more slower and methodical, and obviously that can change with your setup. So yeah, really hope you guys have enjoyed the series. I've had quite a lot of support on the series as well, quite a good amount of views and a lot of comments, so thank you very much for your encouragement. It does mean a lot, and I enjoy hearing from you guys down in the comments. So yeah, moving forward, we'll move on to our next playthrough, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first playthrough, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.